Quite often, I am asked to participate in the performance appraisal of heads of institutions, whether it is a director, a principal, or to some extent a vice chancellor, president, or whatever you call it. I've had the privilege of working with almost every single director of IIM Ahmedabad after Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. I joined in 1973, by which time the first full-time director of IIM Ahmedabad, Professor Ravi J. Mathai, stepped aside as director and continued as a professor. And I and Professor Uday Pari constituted the Education Systems Group. So I had the opportunity of working with him from 1973 till 1983. Of course, he passed away in 1984. All those 10, 11 years, we worked together and written some books. One of them is Self-Renewal and Institutional Building in Higher Education. Second one is Management Process in Universities. And third one is, of course, I think I am not a co-author, but we worked on the Javaja project. After Professor Mathai, Samuel Paul, after him Professor Vyas, then I.G. Patel, then Professor Narayan Sheth, then Professor Khandwala. After Professor Khandwala, Jahar Saha, then Professor Bakul Dholakia. After Professor Bakul Dholakia, Samir Barua, then Ashish Nanda, and after Ashish Nanda, now Professor Harold D'Souza. Sometimes as a member of faculty, sometimes as a member of the society and the board. If anyone asks me to appraise the performance of a director, I would say, first it is important to identify the role of a director. What are some of the most important roles that a director or head of an institution should perform? To me, the first and foremost important role of the head of an institution is to be a leader. He should be a person with vision. Even if he does not have his own vision, he should have internalized the vision of the people who have started the institution. Or if he matters in changing the vision, I think he should change it, articulate it as per the circumstances. But he should carry the vision of the institute, articulate it, internalize it if it has not been articulated, and contribute to the mission, and also protect the values of the institution. Vision, mission, and values. I think first year when I joined IIM Ahmedabad, Professor Mathai, as a colleague of the education group, said only one thing. He said, TV, this institute is set up with the mission of professionalizing management in every sector of the society. That is why it is called as Indian Institute of Management, not business management. So we as Education System Group are trying to professionalize management in education. So similarly, there are groups in agriculture, there are groups in health, there are groups in public later formed as government systems, and so on and so forth. So every single director and every single faculty member try to internalize this mission of the institute. The second most important role of the head of an institution is to promote teaching, which is very important, and good teaching cannot be done without case studies or research. So teaching, research, and good teaching and research comes out of also the faculty participating in understanding and contributing to the practice, which we call as consultancy or extension services. So in many ways, if faculty help industry, then they can prepare cases, they understand realities, and they bring it to the classroom, they can write books, they can do research, and they can be good teachers. So therefore, putting in touch with the practice of those who are practicing becomes a very important role of the director. In earlier years, I still remember Professor Mathai saying that he accepted to be on the board of many companies, and wherever he went, his main job was to influence the industry's thinking by putting the professors from the institute in touch with them. And they offer consultancy. I still remember Professor Mathai when he was on the board of the Bharat Movers, which was almost something like a 15-20 crore company in mid-70s. he asked them to think big. And when they wanted him, how do we think big? He said, I'll send you one of the professors to help you to think big, and sent Professor Bhattacharya to prepare a strategy plan and expand the entire company. Then Professor Bhattacharya involved Professor Uday Parikh to create HRD group and the department. And of course, I later joined for a year to help them to put the HRD in place and things like that. So this was an important role of the director, always to sell the faculty to the outside world. Now, in order to sell the faculty, first of all, he should be convinced about the capabilities of the faculty. He should be able to see the gaps in practice in the outside world, which means he himself should be interacting with the outside world, understanding the gaps, and looking at internal competencies of the faculty members and putting them in touch with the industry, so that there are case studies that come up, there is practice that comes up, and it lays a foundation for the faculty to do research. When they do this well, they become excellent teachers. So in other words, if an institution is to teach, main job is to teach and prepare graduates in the profession in which they are there. So it is the job of the head of the institution to create opportunities for faculty to offer excellent teaching by putting them in touch with industry and providing linkages. I have always insisted on the institutions on whose boards I have been working to say that a faculty's competence gets revealed when he or she starts teaching executives in practice. It could be, I think if you are working in health, it could be the doctors. When you teach doctors, you understand health systems. When you teach teachers and principals, you understand the education system. When you teach executives, you understand what is required. So if you are not able to offer a program for practicing executives, then you are not worth your salt. That is very important. If an institution has 30 to 40 faculty members or 70 to 80, each faculty member should be helped to establish his own credibility and credentials. This is a very, very important job of the director. Most directors do not appreciate and do not understand this important role that they have of developing their faculty by putting them in touch with practitioners. I've always insisted, if you are only teaching the same course, there is no difference between you and an ordinary school teacher who rotely memorizes mathematics, physics, chemistry, and keeps on teaching the same thing year after year to different batches of students. That's not what business schools are meant for, or any professional education is meant for. Professional education should always be involved in practicing. I still remember, even before I joined IIM Ahmedabad, I participated in a research project of evaluating entrepreneurship. The moment I joined, first thing I had done was to offer a program for a teaching course on entrepreneurship for people, and offer the same course for executives. It has provided me a phenomenal opportunity to understand what executives are, what are the realities. I give them my expertise and they tell their problems, and that is how we both grow. They grow from the theory I teach, and I go from the practice and theory practice gaps I understand and things like that. So to me, the most important job of the second most important job of the director is to inspire faculty to be good faculty, to prepare new courses and teach these courses not only to the current students but also to the executives, and do research and do consulting. So this is a continuous process. If one of them is weak, the other one is not going to be strong. That is why I put the sequence normally in the opposite kind of a direction, by saying that it is the responsibility of the head of the institution to sell the faculty, to create a market for the discipline, to create a market for the faculty. When you do that, you are not only creating a market for the faculty member as an individual, but you are building up the image of the institution. The next in line after vision and mission, and after ensuring good teaching, research, innovations in teaching, offering executive development programs and offering consulting services, I put all these as an important role of inspiring the faculty to be good teachers, researchers, executive development program conductors, and extension workers or consulting people and publishers in terms of publishing their own kind of papers. So the third one is to protect, I've already said as a part of the mission, vision and values, culture of the institution. In fact, I think IIM Ahmedabad has very strong culture, what we call as peer culture, and a collegiate kind of a culture, and no bureaucracy, a lot of flexibility, and a culture of accountability and a sense of responsibility. Nobody needs to tell you that you should teach well, you should be doing research, and you should also be doing a little bit of extension of your practices and so on. It happens, it is there in the culture. The culture is so strong that even when we had an outsider as a director, I.G. Patel, who was the first and perhaps so far the last director to come from outside, who was more of a bureaucrat, worked in with the government and was the governor of Reserve Bank of India before he joined IIM Ahmedabad. The culture at IIM was so strong, he changed his own kind of orientation. That is why it is often said, culture is the next CEO when a CEO retires. So the most important contribution of a head of an institution is to create a culture of the institution. If there is no strong culture, if the institution has gone through instability for many years, the main job of the head is to provide stability and to create a culture of research, good teaching, collegiate and faculty autonomy and so on. Associated with this is creating a positive institutional environment. I've had many studies on institutional climate and I've developed many questionnaires. One of the questionnaires which was developed in engineering colleges is available and it's published as IIMA working papers for anyone. So there are many dimensions of the institutional climate, which includes support systems, climate, student culture, the extracurricular, co-curricular activities, culture, leadership, supervision, library, information systems, and a whole lot of things. I have almost identified about 15 to 20 different dimensions of institutional excellence. I would say that this questionnaire should be used every now and then to monitor the impact of the head of the institution on the institute. If the head of the institution is good, a lot of things will turn out to be good. In fact, my study of several engineering colleges in late 90s and the early part of around 2001-2 indicated that institutions with strong leadership, good leadership, and a positive culture also know how to utilize their finances, resources, and other kind of things well. Then comes, of course, the other kind of a question for which I give always less weightage. Your comparison of your placement or your performance in relation to salaries obtained by your students and your ranks, whatever ranking kind of a thing that happens. I think to me these are less important because these are actually products of your doing an excellent job in the earlier points that I have mentioned. If you maintain good culture, if you build your faculty, and if you are a good leader, you have articulated vision, inspired your faculty and staff with your vision, motivated them, I think you would have achieved all the other kind of things automatically. Your ranks will go up, your placement opportunities will go up, your attendance in your executive development programs will go up, and you attract good faculty, and the faculty in their own way will become very much motivated to give their best and so on. So I think these are, I know these are difficult, not very easy measures. Quite often people don't look at these measures and look at only visible things like how much money you have earned, how much surplus you have created, how many faculty you have recruited, how much fees you collected. I think to me these are not all that important. I don't want to say these are not at all important. These are less important as compared to, I think, what kind of an institution you built, how many leaders you have built among the faculty, what is your succession plan, and whether in your absence the institution can still run very well and so on. That is what I call as stability. I hope some of you get inspired by these thoughts that I have given and use it to evaluate your own heads of institutions. There may be many more variables, but all the best from TV Rao and TV RLS.